Hello, how you doing, Mike Bradley? I hope you're doing well as always. Now, I got a message literally 2 days ago from Chris Joseph. Hello, Chris, how you doing? And he asked me a few things, and one of them he was kind of querying about was if I could do a video talking about your essential pedals you need, especially if you're, you know, new to guitar, or if you've been playing guitar for a while and you want to gig, that kind of stuff. You know, like, what are the essential guitar pedals us guitar players need in our working life? And it's a very good question, because, you know, now with how the internet and especially YouTube is, you know, we have too much information now, don't we? There's too much being thrown at us. We need this, or we don't need this, that kind of stuff. And I'm going to show you what I started with and what I did for pretty much the first 3 or 4 years of as a gigging, working guitar player. And I should say, actually, in those 3 or 4 years, that wasn't doing session work or anything like that. That was being in an originals band. But I was playing a lot with them, and we did very, very well. So I'm going to show you what I was using back then. So I'm going to be using this guitar in a minute, but I picked up this one because, as well as I've got a Sunburst Strat, which is here. If you're a regular viewer to me, you know this guitar. It's been used a lot. But back in my early days, I used this a lot. And actually, I've got a little poster right there on the wall, which I will hopefully remember to cut to right now, so you can see. I'm about 18 in that picture, and you can see me using this guitar. So I thought I'd pick this up here. And an amp I would have used would have been my Marshall JCM 2000, the DSL 100. I've got a video talking about that amp, popping up right now, so we don't need to go into that now. Plus it's downstairs. So, a Pizza Hut bag. Okay, this was my pedal board bag, and as you can see, it's pretty disgusting looking, actually, because it's been in the corner of a room for about 4 or 5 years, and I just dug it out. But this was on top of my dad's kitchen unit once upon a time on the roof, and he got it down. I thought, oh, that'd be handy, I'll carry my pedal board in it, because I think I was just carrying it around in a bag, like Chandler's guitar bag. I wanted like literally a plastic bag. But, so if I open it, inside, this was my pedal board, and it's very battered looking. Basically, my granddad, I've spoken about him a lot in my videos, very important person in my life. And when I joined my band Biff Tech, I said to him, oh, I want a pedal board. And this would have been just before like Pedal Train and, you know, all the kind of, now you've got custom boards all over the place, but it would have been just before that. And I didn't really know what to do, and I had a couple of pedals, which I'll be talking about in a second, and I asked him if he could do little, you know, slots so I can slot them in. And he got a bit of, there's the original, I don't know, what wood, I'm sure someone can say in the comment section below what wood this is, and he put some little stoppers on the end there, and then he cut the slots, he kind of measured it, cut the slots, and then painted it all black, and I used it a hell of a lot. As you can see, this is a relic pedal board. There you go, you know, real relicing. And I literally just got it out of the bag just before I hit record, and I kind of just stared at it for about 5 minutes, you know, and just reminiscing about Granddad and, you know, all the stuff this went through, you know. But anyway, we won't go deep into that. So this was my board, and the essential pedals I'm going to talk to you about is a wah-wah pedal and an overdrive pedal. So unfortunately, this isn't my original wah. It's currently broken and is at my flat at the moment. Because I'm trying to solder it and I burnt my fingers doing it. But anyway, so this is the second one I got, but it's just a regular Gin Dunlop wah-wah pedal. And I got my first wah-wah when I was 17 for my 17th birthday, and it's such a versatile, essential pedal I think every guitar player should have. You know, I mean, if you hark back to the land of yore, or the day of yore, when Clapton was in Cream, you know, all he had was a wah-wah pedal, you know, and his fingers and a volume knob, which I'll talk about in a sec. You know, he used, I think, a Vox wah-wah. Obviously Hendrix, I think, used a Vox as well. But it doesn't matter what brand you use. I think having a wah-wah pedal is so essential. You know, if you look at Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, you know, that intro is a wah kind of left in the middle there. It's kind of like a cocked wah, and it's a very kind of nasally sound, and it just cuts through amazingly. You Could Have a Bad Name by Bon Jovi, I'm pretty sure he's done the same thing there. He's got a wah kind of left in he found the sweet spot and done it. So I suggest the essential pedal you get, numero uno, is a wah-wah pedal. And the second one to get, I would say, is an overdrive pedal, and this is a Boss SD1, and I've had this actually as well since the early 2000s. I was probably about 17 when I got this as well, and I remember I was speaking with Phil Hilborn. He's a very well-known guitar player in the UK and did Guitar Techniques and whatnot, and I was emailing him quite a lot when I was about 17 years old. And I remember asking it, I think I saw on his pedal board he had a Boss SD1, and I was asking him about it, and he said, yeah, get it, you can't go wrong with it. So it was on his recommendation, Phil Hilborn. So yeah, I think it's a wicked pedal, you know. People going about the Tube Scream all the time, great as well, but that's obviously got a much higher price tag because of the Steve Ray Vaughan thing. And this is an amazing pedal. I still use it today in my little small board. So I would, let me get close so you can see what's going on. So the Relic fingerboard, and so as you can see, Grandad cut these little sockets here. Sockets, can I even call it that? Basically for the end of the wah-wah here. So it would fit in very snug like so. Of course I couldn't leave it in all the time. After the gig I would take them out, but I only had 3 things or 4 things, so that would go in there, and then I would have the Boss SD1 there, kind of snug in there, and then this was where I put my amp changer switch. Now I lost my original one, and I just found this one here, and for some reason I've got 2 of these. How, I do not know. So obviously this is quite a bit bigger, so obviously I'd untangle it and it would be like so. So yeah, the original was half that. It was that basically, and it used to fit in quite snug, but I lost it somewhere. But it did get to the point where I stopped using it because I just used the amp as a single channel amp. But anyway, so I'd have that there, and then here I'd put a tuner. This old tuner I've had for ages, it's not going to focus, I put it here. It's very battered around as well. I still use this all the time, for when I'm teaching at home and tuning up whatnot, but I used to gig with this all the time. So I'd put this here, and then I would just put a little green patch lead and put it all together. So this was my live setup for, from about 2002 to 2006 maybe, 2005, 6. So let me put it all together. So obviously basically I've got a wah-wah and an overdrive pedal. That is it. So let me plug it in for you. Back in front of the camera. I should also point out as well that back in the day I didn't use power supplies. I used batteries, you know, so obviously it was 2 pedals. So I didn't need to worry about it. The wah-wah and both the SD1 would last forever. So I'll get the old, the block batteries, 4-volt batteries, whatever they're called. I would use them. I haven't got any spare ones at the moment, so I'm using what I did eventually buy, which is the DC brick you're seeing now on the board. So I've kind of wired it how I did back then. I would have a big long lead, because I'm left-handed and left-footed, so the wah I always have on the left-hand side. So because of that, it makes wiring a bit problem. So I would have a big lead going round. I think it's still the same lead actually, going round into the SD1, and then the SD1 would then go into the tuner, and then tuner into the amp. But I'm not going to worry putting the tuner in. So it's literally my SD1 pedal and the wah-wah and my guitar and amp. So of course the amp is the beautiful Hampstead artist. I did not have that back in the day, but and also as well, my whole playing now is different to when I was 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, you know. I played with a lot more gain back then and stuff, but I just want to show you the essentials of, a good overdrive pedal and a wah-wah. So this is just the amp. You know, so, and of course I can get sounds with that, you know, clean it up with the volume. The wah as a bit of a kind of treble boost, you know, so. And what I was saying about leaving it in the middle, so if I leave it there, you've got your kind of stuff happening there. So there's my wah. And then I would kick in the SD1 for overdrive stuff. So I'd usually, back then I had a load of gain from the amp happening and then kick that in. But I haven't got much gain, so this is the volume on 10. Still clean it up. Like have a crunchy sound. I've got my first real 6-string. I don't like playing a wah sitting down. It's not quite the same, but oh well, I've set the cam up now. But there we have it, you know what I mean? That is what I used for years, you know, and then I added stuff to it as time went on. A delay pedal. I got this one Christmas, I think, once upon a time, and I realised with the delay pedal, actually it was getting this pedal that I realised about power supplies, because I put, I think it was the Christmas day I got it, so Boxing Day I probably plugged it in, or later Christmas Day evening, and put a brand new 4-volt battery in, and half an hour it was dead. So these really eat batteries. They must have some kind of deal with Duracell or something. But a delay pedal was good to have. I don't use delay much. Saying that, been getting more into it recently, just little subtle delays. So I would probably say, after you've kind of exhausted all the possibilities, and there is a lifetime of possibilities to be had with a wah-wah and an overdrive pedal, try a delay, you know. A lot of good amps now have reverbs built in them. If they don't, it'll be worth investing into a reverb pedal of some sort. And you know, you pay for what you get. I think the TC Electronics Hall of Fame is a really good reverb pedal. And also I'm a massive fan of the New Neighbour Immerse which is a reverb pedal. It's got a load of stuff in there, but I've got that on my smaller board. I love, that's an awesome one, and also the Hall of Fame is just as good as well. So there you have it, guys. You know, like, I'm sorry I haven't said, right, you need this, a big list. You know, honestly, a good wah-wah pedal, an overdrive pedal, you can get some, if you want to be a blues rock guitar player, sorted, you know. And like I said, the importance of using your volume control on your amp, you know. Like I mentioned earlier, I eventually stopped using 2 channels in my old Marshall head and just stuck with the one and did it all with that. Like I say, I'd set up as a lead channel and then rolled it down for my rhythm and then kick that in the asThe one when I want a bit more sauce to it. So obviously now I don't run the amp as hot. Got a little bit of, to take Greg Cox use, gristle on there. I mean, I could push it a bit more, you know. With that volume. You know what I mean? I'll use that as my lead boost there. So let me know your thoughts, and also what did you start with? Let's start a little forum going on there. So get a wah-wah, get a good overdrive pedal, bang, and a tuner, very important. Then, you know, if you want a little bit of modulation happening, you know, a reverb pedal if your amp doesn't have reverb, and you know, nothing more of a good delay. You can't go wrong with Boss products, you know. Like I said, that asThe one I've had since 2002. It is currently 2017. That is 15 years of being stamped on, so it's holding out alright, you know. So anyway, let us know your thoughts, guys, and I will see you next time. Anyway, hope you're very, very well. Mike Bradley signing out.